The shuttle's descent was a screaming, violent thing. Outside the viewport, the green and silver tapestry of the Selenian homeworld was obscured by streaks of plasma fire and the ugly black blossoms of flak explosions. Inside, the air was thick with the smell of ozone and fear. The human soldier didn't know the name of the world, nor the full name of the slender, silver-skinned figure strapped in beside him. He knew her only as the Empress, and his orders were simple: get her to the provisional capital. Alive. His unit, the 42nd Terran Expeditionary, had been loaned as a show of solidarity when the Selenian Dominion's internal schism turned violent. The humans were respected for their durability and their stubborn, almost irrational willingness to complete a mission. He embodied that now, his hands steady on the harness as the shuttle jolted. The anti-air network is more extensive than predicted, the Selenian pilot called back. Her voice a melodic chime strained with tension. Just keep us in the air, the human replied. His voice a low gravel in the ornate cabin. The Empress turned her head. Her large, luminous eyes, the color of twilight, held his. Your presence honors us, soldier. This is not your conflict. It is now, ma'am, he said, offering what he hoped was a reassuring nod. The shuttle lurched again, and a deafening crack echoed through the hull. Warning glyphs flared amber across the console. Portside stabilizer is gone, the pilot reported, her tone shifting from tension to despair. We cannot reach the landing zone. I am setting down in the gray expanse. The expanse was a rocky, desolate plateau. The shuttle hit the ground with a shriek of tearing metal, skidding for what felt like an eternity before coming to a rest. Tilted and broken, in the shadow of a basalt cliff, they moved quickly. The human soldier ushered the Empress and her 2 remaining guards out of the wreckage, his rifle already scanning the barren horizon. The sky was empty, but it wouldn't be for long. The wreck was a beacon. We need to find cover, move towards those rock formations. He pointed to a jagged line of stones about a kilometer east. The Selenians, graceful even in crisis, nodded. They began to move, their light steps almost silent on the gravel. They were halfway there when the deep thrum of a grav engine echoed off the cliff. A sleek, predatory assault skimmer crested the ridge behind them, the insignia of the rebellion stark on its hull. It did not hail them. A mounted plasma cannon swiveled and glowed. The human acted on instinct, a deep-seated protocol engraved in every fiber of his being. He shouted a warning, but sound was too slow. As the skimmer fired, he did not throw the Empress to the ground. He moved into the path. The bolt, meant to vaporize the royal figure, took him in the chest and shoulder. The impact was not silent. His body armor boiled away. The kinetic force lifted him off his feet and threw him back against the Empress, sending them both sprawling. The smell of seared composites and flesh filled the air. Silence followed, broken only by the hum of the idling skimmer. The rebel gunners, perhaps shocked by the sudden sacrificial move, hesitated. That hesitation was their end. The Empress's guards, galvanized by the act, fired precise shots that disabled the skimmer's engine. It crashed to the ground. The Empress scrambled to her knees, not to her guards, but to the fallen human. He was breathing, but each breath was a wet, ragged thing. The wound was catastrophic. The armor melted into the ruin of his chest. Her delicate hands hovered over him, unsure where to touch, how to help. His eyes flickered open, focusing on her face with difficulty. "Are you hit?" He rasped. "No," she said, her voice trembling. "You? Why?" "Job," he coughed, a dark trickle appearing at the corner of his mouth. "Told to keep you alive." The guards reached them, their faces etched with a profound, unfamiliar shock. One began applying emergency sealant to the wound, but the human knew it was futile. The look in the Selenian's eyes confirmed it. The Empress took his gloved hand in both of hers. It was a gesture her people reserved for sacred oaths and deathbed farewells. You have taken the blow that bore my name. You have interposed your life for mine. By the old law, by the HFY, the life debt is invoked. My life is yours. The human soldier didn't understand the words, not fully. He felt cold. The sky above was very blue. Just get to the capital, he whispered. Then his eyes closed. He did not die on that rocky plain. The tenacity that made his species both admired and baffled throughout the galaxy held on. A medical frigate, diverted by the Empress's frantic, coded signal, retrieved them. He was rushed into a regeneration vault, a piece of Selenian technology far beyond standard human medicine. It knitted bone and nerve and flesh over agonizing weeks, during which the Empress won her war. The rebellion collapsed, its leadership fractured. When he awoke, clear-minded and whole, he found himself in a room of soft light and flowing silks. A viewport showed the sparkling spires of the Selenian capital. He was greeted not by a medic, but by a solemn convocation of the imperial court. The Empress, clad now in robes of state, stepped forward. Her gaze was unwavering. The soldier awakens. Do you know what you have done? My duty, he said, his voice rough from disuse. You have done more. You have triggered the HFY, the life debt of the royal line. It is a covenant not just of personal honor, but of people to people. My life was forfeit. You reclaimed it. Therefore, what is mine is now yours to call upon. He sat up slowly. I don't want anything. I was doing my job. A murmur went through the court. Such a concept was alien to them. A job was a transaction. This was a cosmic realignment of obligation. It is not a matter of want, explained the elderly High Chancellor. The debt is a living energy. It must be balanced. Until it is, our entire civilization stands in your shadow. Our honor is incomplete. The human felt a deep unease. How is it balanced? The Empress answered. The debt is paid in threefold measure. The first was the preservation of your life, which we have accomplished. The second is the granting of a boon, a request you may make of us, anything within our power. The third, she paused, the third is guardianship. The one who holds the debt must be protected by the debtor until the natural end of their days. He listened, the military part of his mind analyzing. It was a cultural binding, stronger than any treaty. He thought of Earth's diplomats, always seeking leverage. Here was leverage beyond their wildest dreams. And a lifelong babysitting detail. I need to report to my command, he said finally. They have been informed, the Chancellor said. The Terran coalition has agreed, with some confusion, to your secondment to the Selenian court for the fulfillment of the HFY. You are here. Soldier, until the debt is satisfied. The boon, the second part, troubled him most. The court expected him to ask for wealth, a planetoid, a fleet. He spent days walking the palace gardens, the ever-present, silent Selenian guards a respectful distance behind him. He saw the people, graceful and gentle, rebuilding their world. He learned of their art, their science of harmony, their deep fear of violence. He made his request before the full assembly. My boon is this. Teach us. The court was silent. Teach my people, he continued. Not your weapons. Teach us your medicine. Teach us your ecological sciences that heal planets. Teach us your arts that foster peace. Share the knowledge that helps you live, not just survive. The request was unprecedented. It was not a thing, but a process. It was a bridge. The Empress, after a long moment, inclined her head. It shall be done. The debt's second thread is woven. The third part, the guardianship, proved the most complex. He was given rooms adjacent to the Empress's own quarters. He attended state functions, a silent, solid figure in simple human fatigues, amidst a sea of silvery silk and crystal. He learned her routines, her preferences. He was her shadow dot. It was during a diplomatic summit with the aggressive, crustacean-like Krell Empire that its value became clear. The Krell ambassador, all clacking mandibles and dismissive gestures, threatened a blockade over disputed border systems. The Empress argued with calm logic, but the Krell valued only strength. The human soldier, standing at parade rest behind her throne, spoke for the first time in such a forum. His voice was quiet, but it carried. The Terran coalition has a mutual defense pact with the Selenian Dominion. A blockade would be considered an act of war against both our peoples. We don't like bullies. He said nothing else. He didn't need to. The Krell knew of human wars, of their relentless, illogical defiance when cornered. The ambassador recalibrated his demands immediately. The Empress secured her borders without yielding a single star. Afterwards, in her private chamber, she looked at him. You spoke. The Viesha Kai does not require you to engage in our politics. You're my responsibility, he said, repeating the line he used every day. A blockade is a threat. I assessed and neutralized it. A faint smile, a rare and beautiful thing, touched her lips. You interpret your guardianship broadly. It's the human way, he shrugged. Years turned. The human, once a soldier, became a permanent fixture. The knowledge exchange he requested blossomed, curing plagues on human worlds and repairing biospheres. The life debt, once seen as a burdensome ancient rule, became a symbol of the strongest alliance in the sector. One evening, on a balcony overlooking the city of soft lights, the Empress stood beside him. The scholars say the debt is nearly satisfied, she said. Your life was saved. Your boon has uplifted both our peoples. Only the